Here we are at 4 in the morning, getting ready to go shoot a music video for Axel. Here's Axel, getting ready for his music video, his big debut. And there's Luke, and our house. And there's Marcus way up there, coming out of the shadows.
Marcus Ruiz. Hey, Mark, did you download that song? You download the song yesterday?
Do we have the shot list as well?
No.
I'm gonna say no. We're what we call prepared. So we are going over to San Francisco, right? And we're gonna shoot this music video in a day. About a 2-hour drive away, and I still have to be back in time for work. Yay!
Listen, we're not around here, okay? We're professionals.
Luke, come back!
Luke, where'd he go?
Luke!
And we're back! Welcome.
Episode 107?
107.
107 of season 1 of our podcast.
Yeah. Almost to the double digits.
Almost to the double digits. 7 is a very lucky number.
Yes, if you're listening to this, you've been hooked.
You've been hooked.
There's no hope for you.
You're one of the 14 people that remain.
Yeah. Have you seen every minute of all of our videos? That's a lot of minutes.
That's a lot of minutes. It was like 4 hours almost.
Yeah.
Sorry for wasting your life.
But thank you for giving it to us.
Hopefully you've learned something. I know we have.
We sure have.
What have
We
we
sure
learned?
have. We've learned that
We're a bunch
there's
of
saps out there.
There's
saps up
There's
there.
hope in everything.
Yes.
Yes,
So general, we'll just give them. There's hope in everything.
there is.
That's where we have like a.
That's a nice little Facebook quote.
Hope. All right, let's talk about what we did this last
Tuesday.
week.
What do we do on Tuesday?
Last Tuesday, we filmed a music video. It was a lot of fun. We went down to Treasure Island, San Francisco. A lot of pretty cool land out there.
Is that considered San Francisco
Yeah, it's part
or
of
Oakland?
it's actually part of San Francisco. It's like one of the districts, or part of one of the districts of San Francisco. So it's if you live
Is it
there, I think-
really?
yeah. So it's actually part of the city, but it's really great because you got some really awesome views of the
San Francisco
skyline and, like,
you can
the
see
bridge
the
and
Golden
everything.
Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
You can see a Bay Bridge. It's a gorgeous place, but
not a lot of people really know about it. I think
Like
I don't
no
know.
one's there.
We just kind of stumbled upon it one time when we were just doing some scouting. I don't remember what for. But I thought it was it'd be a cool setting for a music video. I didn't really have much of a story kind of in mind, but I thought it'd just be cool just to kind of
To
film
have
some.
that San Francisco as the backdrop.
Yeah, just because
The
it's
bay in
behind
the
like the
background.
musical performances. We're kind of just performing there, and behind us, of course, is the beautiful city. It was a gorgeous, beautiful day. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
this is Arla.
Oh, hello.
We keep her locked up because she will go for throats.
She goes for throats.
Sick balls, Arla. Sick balls.
All right, go Arla.
She's the sweetest animal. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. We had the backdrop of the bay, so we had the Golden Gate Bridge, we had the Bay Bridge, we had San Francisco, we had Alcatraz. Just a beautiful.
It's like $1 million shot.
Yeah.
The whole thing, but there's no one.
So
government lands on the campus.
on Treasure Island, this specific part of Treasure Island that looks over the bay, there's abandoned military barracks, just like buildings that have been sitting there for 50 years that are just literally just sitting there rotting. And on this prime real estate, this beautiful land, like if there was like a 3-bedroom house sitting on that area, that house would be worth like $10 million easily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's in the middle of the bay, and I think it's all government land. So it's been abandoned since the 70s or so.
Some parts
And
of it.
I guess probably the government doesn't want to spend the money to go in there and demolish everything.
Yeah.
What are they going to use it for?
There's government housing there, so
Yeah.
it's a lot. It's very, very poor apartments,
But interesting enough, they have like the best view of the bay.
Yeah,
of
they
the
do.
bay,
Right,
which is like
right.
super interesting. They probably pay like $300 a month for your like low income housing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is weird.
And they're looking over freaking.
Well, yeah, the people that live there
People
are
pay,
like almost homeless
Yeah.
or something like that. Like they
Yeah.
store homeless people there. Store them. All right, Arla, you're distracting. I'm sorry.
So when we were at City College of San Francisco, we did a short film called Wasteland. And me and Luke call them search and destroy movies, where it's usually the lone wanderer, and he's going around, and he's got a gun, and he's in like military garb, and then there's people trying to shoot him.
Post-apocalyptic.
There's no a lot of meaning
Story.
to it. We actually had okay story behind it.
Yeah.
But it was very amateurish. But
It
the
was
setting,
one of our first short films.
the setting, yeah, exactly. The setting was, I think, one of the best we've ever had.
Was it
Right.
your first one?
No,
Like
no,
your first sort of short film?
Probably a legitimate one.
Did you do it for your class?
Yeah, we did it
Yeah.
for one of our classes.
But we've done a lot of stupid videos before that.
Right.
But so we basically went into this abandoned military barracks that's on Treasure Island, and we'll link the video below. So if you want to watch it, you can just scrub through it and see what kind of a location it is. But it's like a brilliant place to film, like a post-apocalyptic whatever.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Just hundreds and hundreds. It's probably 4 or 5 stories, hundreds of abandoned rooms,
Yeah.
graffiti everywhere. This awesome central location in the middle of the building that's open to the elements.
Yeah.
And there's this ramp that goes all the way around it. It's really a beautiful place. Beautiful but ugly.
Derelict.
Derelict.
Well, a lot of those buildings are like 80 years old because I think it was built in like 1932 for like the
really?
San Francisco International Exhibition or something. Like Treasure Island's not even like a real island. They had to like make it an island. They had to like build it and all that stuff. So it's just, but it's just like sitting right in the middle of the bay, and like I said, it's like a great, I don't know, location.
Well,
Wait, it's not really an island?
It's a fake island. It's an artificial island.
part
Really?
of it's real.
Yerba
but then
Buena Island, the one the tunnel goes through, is real.
Oh,
But
okay.
then, like it's an offshoot.
Oh, but
treasure island.
okay.
Okay.
That's what you're saying, though. Like the little.
They kind of added on to it.
Yeah.
So that leads us to maybe a conversation about how valuable a good location is
Yeah.
in a film.
Yeah.
If it's a short film, major motion picture film, any film whatsoever, a good location is what you need.
Even just a photograph. Like anything visual needs to be like visually stunning.
Right. If you're gonna make a short film,
maybe.
That's okay. So we went to City College of San Francisco and we did film classes there. We also we met at Sac State and we did a lot of short films there. And 90% of student films are shot in someone's apartment, someone's house.
Yeah.
It's something that we've seen 100 times before. It doesn't honestly really matter about what the story is, but
It's not very stimulating. I think
No,
that's
it's not.
the main thing.
And like the reason, like I know why they do it is because they don't have a lot of money.
Yes,
right.
yeah.
So the cheapest thing that you can do is you find an actress and you find an actor and you do some sort of like domestic, they have a problem with their relationship
right.
and you
They're
film it in
eating
their
dinner,
house.
They're
You
over
know,
a coffee.
Yeah, it's like a coffee shop, them,
Right.
them sitting.
Right.
But it's like, I feel like
That's
you don't.
easy.
That is easy. And like, it's not that you don't have to like not write those types of movies. Like if you want to write like a relationship drama, of course write that. Like if that's something that means a lot to you, they say write what you know. But the setting should say something about something. Like the house can be a character almost. It can be filthy. It can be they can be hoarders or something. Living like a pigsty. It's just filled with newspapers.
Yeah.
And they're just like staring at each other over stacks of newspapers.
It's just like, I don't want to get rid of the newspapers.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, no, we got to get rid of the newspapers.
No.
No. Newspapers are staying.
Yeah, and then or something. It can be like it's just
For me, it's
just
like
the white walls is just the most boring.
one of the main reasons why I go to the movies is to see something I've never seen before.
Exactly.
If that's the type of movie I'm going to see, like whether it's sci-fi, fantasy, in the future, post-apocalyptic, I really enjoy those films because I get to see something I never get to see before.
Right,
yeah.
I mean, even in like Divergent and like Maze Runner, those types of movies, they're visually stimulating.
That's
It's fun to go and watch those because you get to see something you've never seen
You're
before.
placed in a setting that you haven't normally seen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think, us knowing that, I think we've tried to. A lot of our projects have been. We almost like build them around a location. We'll like see a cool place. This would be a great place to film.
yeah.
Let's build a story around this. Because I think. I agree with all you guys. I think a lot of people do. It's like one of those things you don't really think about because, like you said, you don't have a lot of money, and so it's hard to really get access or permission to film in a really great place or to build an awesome set. You don't really have access to that. So if you don't have a lot of money, sometimes you got to go and like do some guerrilla filming there. But I mean, if you can get away with it or find a spot that works, it's really worth it because so many films or student films, I should say, are just that's one of the biggest problems.
Well,
with them.
even in we could bring up Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace. A lot of their dialogue is just literally sitting on couches.
I think 2 is even worse, dude.
Yeah,
2.
really.
I think episode 2, they're just sitting in every shot.
Indoors, even though it is the future,
Yeah.
galaxy far away, they're just talking on couches.
Yeah.
Okay, we're in a different room talking on couches. Oh, we're in this room talking in couches, you know, and just like.
And if you compare that to the new Star Trek movies, Star Trek with J.J. Abrams, where it's a lot of kinetic energy, where they're moving around and the camera's
he's
following,
running around. He's like he's
of,
talking over his intercom, going crazy, you know, and stuff like that.
No, I feel like you would want to get your actors. An actor is like, they're doing something for it. I feel like it's almost like chess, right? So you have a film, and all your actors are chess pieces. They're little pawns. And you want to move them around and place them in situations that are really interesting, right? If they're doing something, an actor is being paid to do something that they want to do professionally, and if they're just going to sit down and just recite dialogue to show that they have a good memory and can remember lines, that's fine.
Right.
Put them to work, like make them.
Well, even
actors want
like,
that
yeah,
too.
There's a lot of techniques and stuff for actors to do so they can get engaged in the film. And one thing that they usually try and tell actors to do is give them something to do. You know, even if they have a pipe, they're cleaning out of their pipe.
Yeah, exactly.
Or they're like picking their fingernails, or nervous or something like that. They always have something to do. They're not just kind of sitting on the couch. And I think that goes to the same thing with like bigger scenes. You know. I would rather see Chris Pratt running through industrial buildings doing something like that and talking about Chris Pratt. Same thing.
Same guy.
Same guy.
Same guy.
Anyway, like in Star Trek, you know, he's needs to talk with someone over his intercom. He could be like in some room doing something blatant, you know, but instead he's going from A to Z, doing all this stuff. You know, I mean, give it action, give it something that we want to see.
Yeah.
Well, I think it goes back to their dialogue should be, you know, it shouldn't be just to move this or just to put time into the story. It should be like it's motivated by what they want to do.
It's accomplishing something.
Yeah, like they have to talk about this, otherwise they're not going to accomplish what they want to accomplish.
Right.
Like if they're running from something, there's two characters running and they're trying to figure out the best way to get away from it. Oh, you know, we're running, but that's action. They're talking. There's dialogue there.
Tension too. You know, tension.
Yeah. I was gonna say even like the dialogue is conflicting. You know, it's like twisting the screws, and the dialogue also serves, like they don't have to even say blatantly what they want to say. It's always like they two characters want to say something, you know, like what they really want to say, and they don't say it, or something like that. You kind of keep subverting it until like you just keep pushing it further to build that conflict up between the characters or between the whatever it is.
Because a lot of natural dialogue is two people talking and saying they want to say something but they can't because you know the social norms or the status quo. You know they. Like even like two best friends, they could be, you know, very close friends, or you know, a son and you know, a mother and a son. But there's something they won't, you know, they can't say everything to each other, right?
That's right.
Maybe they want to, but they can't. And I think that's, I don't know, a lot of dialogue, maybe amateur dialogue or dialogue, you know, that you don't really connect with. I guess is kind of just it's on the surface. You know, it's not really about anything else. You know, it's just A and B back and forth. There's no real subtext or stuff that isn't being said, because a lot of like what isn't being said in dialogue is more powerful and more important than what actually is being said.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And also the audience kind of sits in their seats and they're thinking like, just say it, you know? And that in itself is just it builds tension. You know, you just come on, just freaking say it, just say it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like it's just hard to write dialogue like that where it's like it's moving, it's doing multiple things. It's moving the story forward. It's saying it's like necessary dialogue. It's not just filler, but it's also it's still adding like tension or something.
Right.
And then
it's
a fourth
filling out and fleshing out characters.
Well, exactly. Yeah. It fleshes out characters.
Yeah, it gives like background to them. You know, it gives a little bit of depth.
Reveals your character.
Yeah.
Develops your character.
Yeah.
Showing that struggle.
So to recap, good locations.
Yeah.
Solid dialogue.
Solid dialogue.
Solid.
Make your characters do something. Your actors.
I mean, especially if it's a futuristic film, show me something that hasn't been done before.
Yeah.
Like, why would you just have? And like, that's another thing. So like, you know, the Wanderer or your Wasteland video, in that location, it's like you don't want to. Well, I guess not your, but like some post-apocalyptic films, especially student ones. I was telling Axel earlier, like. Those are fun to do for amateur filmmakers because they add a lot of production value to your video. You don't have $1 million for a crew to build like this big set, you know, that looks all decrepit and everything. You find an old, blown out, you know, train station or something. You go in there and you film it. It looks really cool. It looks like you have like $1 million on this thing.
Yeah. You just add a voiceover. You know, it gives a little bit exposition. You know, and you just tint it green just a little bit because it's to the radioactive.
No, but
you have one camera and you do cool little camera angles following this one character around. He's got a gun, and then something happens.
Danger's afoot.
Yeah. It's really easy. You just kind of.
It's really easy.
Yeah,
and that's something.
Sorry. Continue.
I would say that's amateur.
Those
We need to
were
make sure that is amateur.
Well, there were so many of those videos 2 or 3 years ago, and I don't
when
know,
like Fallout 3 came out.
Fallout 3.
yeah.
I mean, that's what kind of inspired us. And then we started doing a little research into it. Like, we kind of want to make something like that. And then we just saw all these videos, just everyone has like that one abandoned building in their town or somewhere close, and they have like an airsoft gun, and they've got some camo, and they go around with a gas mask on. And that's exactly what we did, you know. And they're easy. It's just like, oh yeah, post-apocalyptic. We call them search and destroy movies.
Yeah. No, they are like they're super easy to do, but like I feel like I don't know if it's like beating a dead horse or whatever. Like I don't know if it is dead the genre. I feel like you could still do something with it. That post-apocalyptic thing. I think you can still squeeze the last few drops out of it. But a lot of amateur filmmakers, I think you're right, do.
Yeah.
They kind of follow the same sort of formula. Of it's like one or two guys wandering through this thing. It's like. I don't know. I'd like to find a way to really like twist. I want to see that Turbo Kid movie badly because it's it's really like post-apocalyptic, but in like the 90s.
Yeah,
or something,
we'll link that one below. It was like
a trailer.
It debuted in Sundance. And we just saw the trailer. It looks.
Is it even out
interesting.
yet? Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'd like to see.
We'll link the trailer below too.
But yeah, we got to find just some really good locations, and it could be anywhere. That's another thing is I feel like with amateur filmmakers, and again we're just talking here, but I feel like. If you really don't put a lot of like thought into it, of course it's easy to like just film in your house, but like it's lazy. It really is lazy. Like I'm not gonna pretend it's not. If you really try, you can find a location anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. You can go anywhere. Drive. Be willing to drive maybe an hour, so outside.
Our Doritos video.
The Doritos commercial. 10 hours.
Just find a forest. Find a forest and go in the middle of the forest, and that film there. Instead of in your bedroom.
Dude, get out of the house. Yeah. Here's my rules. You don't film in a bathroom, don't film in a house, don't film in a bedroom, unless you absolutely have to. If you're filming a short film...
You're filming like The Exorcist or Psycho.
Yeah, exactly. No, seriously. No, other than that, like, it's been done. Like, if the guy's waking up, and the alarm clock, and you gotta wake up, he hits it.
And then he's hitting the floor.
The feet, and then he's in the bathroom washing his hands or brushing his teeth, staring in the mirror. Get out of the bathroom. Bathrooms are small. They're cramped. They suck to film in. You got to get a whole crew in there.
Unless you're doing something that's like a suicide scene or something.
Exactly. Unless you're having some guy like cut his wrist and get out of the bathroom. We don't
something. Yeah, Roy Tenenbaums. Exactly. That's what
get out of this bedroom. We don't care unless his bedroom is like a beat.
Well, I mean that's the thing. It's like. In these big blockbuster movies, if they're filming in someone's house, it's usually a nice house.
It's a unique house,
top of the line, unique, crazy,
or if it's like
awesome,
or if it's like a crappy old like freaking bedroom or bathroom. Like they have removable walls, they can fit like 50 people.
That's a good point
filming
too.
in on something,
Yeah, it's like when you're just like get out of the house, put your actors to work, make them do something. Like you can be out, you can be in like an alley or something, like a back, but make it look out. Throw them.
Film is visual. You want to be visually like. Stimulated. You want exactly. So it's just like
it goes back to what you said about just wanting to see something that you haven't seen before. Everyone has seen the bathroom. They've seen the thing. They've seen the bedroom. And no one. By the way, if you put like an alarm clock in a film, I think alarm clocks may be the most hated sound in the world. Don't put it in your phone. Don't put it in there. Like no one wants to hear that awful sound while they're sitting in the theater. At least I don't. Like you just. Oh my god.
We have 4 posters up here with 4 different movies. We have Lawrence of Arabia. How visually stunning is that? There Will Be Blood. Visually stunning.
Not really.
Empire of the Sun. Freaking Blade Runner. All 4 of those have like
films. No.
Shut the hell up, Corey! I'm speaking. Freaking The Conformist. Beautiful movie.
And Drive.
I don't think there's any bathrooms in any of those films.
No,
there's no bathroom.
Actually, there is in Drive. But then she gets her brains blown out in the bathroom.
Spoiler alert.
No, but that's interesting. That's an interesting bathroom scene. It's like a fight scene in the bathroom. Like do something like that. At the beginning of not Skyfall, the other James Bond, Casino Royale in black and white, where he's killing that dude in the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Kill someone in a bathroom if you're gonna be.
Freaking one with Viggo Mortensen. In the bathroom, he has the fight scene where he's
Lord of the Rings.
No, I'm just kidding. Eastern Promises.
Yeah, Eastern Promises.
That's a bathroom scene.
Well, it's more like a spa, tiled.
Still, that is a scene right there.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Freaking crazy.
Oh god, that was brutal. Yeah.
I might have to play devil's advocate. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we hate on filming in bathrooms or coffee shops or bedrooms because we've seen those all before. You know, and we always talk about take us somewhere you've never been. But you know, if you have a good story, you have a really interesting character that has a really great motivation.
Yeah.
If you have to film in the bathroom, if that's where the story is, then that's what you got.
No, I mean obviously, that's what we're not saying. Don't ever film in the bathroom, but you're right. It's just more. I just feel like if the character does go there.
Well, I think you're right. Like you have to do it because it serves a story. You can't do it because you don't have any money and it's easier from the bathroom. You know? Exactly. There's a reason you have to do everything. A lot of times in filmmaking, the easy way is not always the best way to go about it. Like to get a great shot or a great story, you have to go out of your way and you have to really tighten every screw you have in your crew and in your whole production to make to pull everything out of it you can.
That's right.
And that means going the extra mile to find a great location or to get this much more out of your actors or to spend this much more time lighting the scene. Because it has to look that good. Because you're trying to impress people watching it. If you're just filming in your bathroom just because we have a camera, we got to make this movie, and then it's like it's going to show through. It's not going to be as interesting, probably. And you can break every single rule. I mean, we're in no position to talk about anything, but even if we were, I mean, every rule can be broken as long as you do it beautifully. I think that's what I've heard. So, but yeah, I mean, it all goes about like if you want to make a movie, like we love the idea of wanting to make movies because we like that almost escapism aspect of it, but also beyond that, like you can learn stuff from film too. But part of making movies and watching movies is like having this experience that you couldn't have had otherwise. Going to a place you never would have been able to go. You're watching a film. You're watching something that there's like a hole in the back of the cinema, and you're just watching a different world,
right?
Which is cool. It's one of the best parts about it. That's why it's like the magic of movies, right?
Yeah.
Right. So,
did we talk about the location of the project? Or was that before we cut of your music video?
I mean, I think we touched upon Treasure Island and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that was just another thing. It was just kind of a small, really low-budget music video. But again, we could have filmed it anywhere. We could have filmed it in our backyard or, in a park or on a street.
Right. Yeah.
I kind of wanted it just to... I mean, I feel like in that case, having the backdrop of San Francisco, like that adds more production value than anything else we could have done on that kind of budget. I don't know. So I don't really know how... It's not, finished yet. It's got to be edited. But I think, the best part about it is probably going to be that location. Yeah. Unless the song... People like the song.
And we had to go... like 2 hours out of our way to get there.
We had to wake up at 4 in the morning. We had to sit in 3 hours of traffic. Just getting on the Bay Bridge was just a nightmare. But you get on there and you get off at Treasure Island, and we're finally there. And even though it was a small shoot, only 6 people, it's still like a lot of work to put together because there's people coming from San Francisco. I think there's 5 of us in our car. We just all had to pile in, make sure we're all here at the same time. We had to get our equipment ready. You had to feed everyone. You had to make sure the location was going to be a good place to film, which it ended up being, I think. And it was just like a lot of checklists and stuff, like make sure the song is done. Because when you're filming, a music video, you're playing the song over. And so the song has to be, a completed kind of thing. And you have to have a means to play it. We don't really have that much experience doing music videos. But, that's kind of why I want to do this. Because it's just another project we can work on. More experience. More so than even like having the music video itself, which I wanted because I kind of like the song. And I want to kind of, explore that, a music kind of career. Yeah. Right. But, it was just something else for us to film. We have, that's kind of... It's our thing, and we always want to be working on projects. Always want to have something we're kind of working on. So that's kind of why we did that. I want to do that at least. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like traveling to places. It gets us out of the house. We could film, like you said, in our garage or something, or like in our backyard. But it's like if we can get to this crazy, that view was amazing. Like you're not going to find a better view than that in the Bay Area at all. It's you had the Bay Bridge and then the city and then the Golden Gate Bridge and Alcatraz right there, all in one island. Like it's right there, and so. And it was super easy to get to. We weren't bothered, really. Wasn't crowded. It was like we were right there. It was.
You have to pay for anything.
That's free. You know what I mean? Free. Oh, here's another thing I want to touch about. Also another thing. I know we just like fed because we're willing to work off of like food, but I do want to say something. When it comes to like actors and like working with people, like I know if there's amateur filmmakers out there, I need to stress like paying them. Not in food. Right. Not in vacations or road trips. Money. Right. People need money. Yeah. And like, I know like when we were starting off, it's like on our Civil War film, we couldn't like really pay anybody like that we did, so it's like we had to kind of promise everyone food. And so we got this huge like brunch together, or not brunch, but like, your family
breakfast and
got breakfast. We ordered like, 200 Egg McMuffins or something, like a ton of food. You know, like Mark and Luke's family in Mississippi, they got a big family, and they all just like cooked and brought a huge potluck of food. It was really good. I mean, it was an amazing lunch, and like that's what you should do. You should feed your actors, but you like also need to like pay them. Like if you can, you want to set aside some sort of money, some sort of like compensation. I think. Because you'll get to a point where, like in your career, if you're like in high school, if you're like in college, that's sort of understandable. You don't have a lot of money.
people are willing.
People are willing to kind of bend for you. You know, you can go and ask like a. I remember we filmed like a thrift store. You know, you can just go ask them and be like, "Hey, is it okay if we film here?" And they'll usually let you for free. Like they don't really mind.
Yeah.
But I think as you start getting on and you get professional, I think it's a good idea to try and make the effort to give them money. Because it does two things. One, that's what they need. They need money.
Right.
They don't need pizza. They don't need, you know, it's like they might appreciate it. But if you pay them money, they can use that money to live and not die. And also it shows that you care about them and that you're trying to build like a relationship with them.
Well, think about this too. If you're paying them, they're going to be that much more invested in the project. Right?
Exactly.
They're gonna get paid.
That's right.
Two, if you're paying someone, even if it's only like a few $100, you're probably going to get a more experienced, more well-rounded actor than just some. I mean, you know, you're not going to get Brad Pitt for $100 or anything, but you might get, you know, a local semi-professional actor. That, you know, hey, if they really like your project and they see that you're willing to put the time to pay for them, they'll work on it.
And that really separates you from like amateur to like professional, you know?
Yeah.
It's
Technically,
Well, I think
right?
Yeah,
I think that's kind of like where we are right now. It's like if we're gonna get our next project, we're gonna try and pay someone that's gonna be a little more professional, and they're gonna show up on time because we are paying them. You have to be here, be ready, know your lines. Versus, I mean, as in college, it's difficult.
That's
you know?
right. Yeah,
it is very difficult to because I mean we're just paying to get through college.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. You
And
don't-
much
you don't have
less to pay someone else. You know, so contact your theater, you know, your theater department and say, hey, these people want to act. There are people out there that want to act for free, and it's kind of all about kind of vetting people. You know, certain people are definitely more reliable than others. So I mean, you have to kind of talk with them and see if they're going to be a little.
Because then if you don't,
Going to be shaky or whatever.
Because if you don't pay them, what happens is what happened to our film is people don't show up.
Yeah, that.
We if we didn't pay, if we had paid, if we had promised, look, all the reenactors that show up will give you $100,
Right.
and feed you, and it's going to be a 2 or 3 day shoot, however long. If we had planned it better, I guarantee we would have gotten more people. No one showed up.
Right.
Because why would
Some
they? They don't need you. Some people showed up, and we appreciate the people that did show up. But other than that, it's like there was no real compensation to it. There's no real anything. And so, like Mark said, there are people that are willing to work for free in the beginning. There's some theater students who are trying to kind of get their portfolio going, who want to act, who want to do something. Maybe they're trying to get extra work, and they just want to get their face on camera. But it gets to a point for both the filmmaker and the actor to where they're going to be desiring money. The filmmaker's going to want to get paid. Like, if we make a film, like, we don't mind working for free because it's our project. Like, we're willing to kind of take that cut. But if we're expecting someone else to give us their time, it's like, after that, it's kind of...
We're paying for a professional service.
We're trying to pay for a service that, like Axel said, they'll be more inclined to give.
And then you take it another step further. It's definitely tough to pay your actors because if you're not making any money off your short film, you know, you're investing all this money in your actors, you're investing this money in these days of filming, you don't make any money off of your short film, you know, then it's just hard. It's okay, you got to work 8 months, you know, how many months with all of us, you know, save up money, make your short film, and you don't make any money off of it, you know, you might get your face out there, but not having any income after that is tough because if that short film doesn't take off, it's like, okay, time to batten down the hatches and save up money again. And it's like, it's kind of demoralizing, you know, it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money to get this stuff done. And then when something doesn't take off, you're just like, all right, here we go again. Another freaking 6 months of work. Got to save up thousands of dollars, you know? And it sucks because it could be just one little thing in your film that just puts like maybe a distributor off, you know? Like, I didn't like that actor. The concept wasn't too great. Like even though you put all this time and effort and money and just...
Well, then again, we could get into marketing, you know? It's like, it's very difficult to market like a short film, you know?
Yeah, it is difficult to market because there's no real market for it besides festivals.
People don't really want to pay for a short film.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I wonder, does like Netflix or like any place have like a short film kind of
I think
streaming where you can just watch short films?
I think like Hulu does.
Hulu maybe?
I think Hulu does.
That's kind of cool because short films are really interesting. Like they're a really interesting way to tell a story, and I think they're overlooked. Like short films are. A short film, I think a lot of filmmakers have to do when they're young because that's all you can do. Obviously, you can't make a feature film like no one really can in the beginning. But I think if you look beyond that and just look at it as its own medium, separate from... Okay, yeah, just like separate from feature films. Like a feature film is a way to tell a story this way, but then a short film is its own way to tell a story, not just a shortcut, financially efficient way, but an actual different narrative. And it's unfortunate that it's festivals that it goes to. Yeah. That there's nothing else, because I think if people watch more short films, that's like a really valuable way. I think a lot of filmmakers don't watch enough short films that are trying to. They watch feature films, like we're guilty of it. Yeah. But short films are their own different. It's a whole different game.
Well, I think that the mass market is the feature film game, and that's where all the money is. That's right. You know, that's where everyone goes to the movies to see your feature film. You know, no one's paying money to see short films, and I think that's the problem right there. I think if the general public watch short films, if they were on Netflix or if they were on Hulu or if they're just paying for these short films rather than just free on YouTube, you know, then I think we would be able to put out a short film, maybe make a little money off of it and make another one, you know, and get better and better and better. But right now it's just like you put your short film into a festival and hopefully a producer likes what you do and says, okay, I could see you filming a feature film. What do you got? And they give you $1 million or whatever it is. That's like the holy grail if someone ever does that, you know. But like as of right now, like the general public doesn't watch short films and there's no money in it. That's true. You know, I mean, they're playing the minor leagues. Exactly.
Yeah, it is.
The minor leagues. Exactly.
So I mean, I don't know, but is there a point to any of this? I don't think so.
We're stupid for even trying.
It's tough to make films, but you got to just keep doing it. Yeah. There's risks like that. It's a risky business, but like if you do enjoy doing it and you think that it's worth your time,
and if you're getting better and better, and then eventually you're going to get your break. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's like do everything you can to make your film visually appealing, paying your actors, getting great locations.
Yeah, good dialogue.
Good dialogue.
Make sure you
start with a great script.
Yeah, the script. Really make sure the script.
That's the seed. You can never you never have a script and turn into something brilliant. It doesn't ever happen.
It's gonna be okay, guys.
Back to woodworking.
Back to woodworking.
You gotta go.
I gotta pay my bills.
Gotta pay those bills.
All right, that restaurant life though.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for joining us for episode 7.
How long have we been going, Seth?
Over 30.
Oh, okay. All right, that's a good little podcast there. Yeah,
solid
performing.
Good. All around. Thank you for joining us.
This was episode 7. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week for episode 8.
Hello, everyone. Again, we are here in the car, in this stinky car, driving all the way to San Francisco. I apologize, Axel, but this is the absolute worst car to sleep in. And we're on our way to do a music video. I think I mentioned this earlier. For Axel. Let me give a little background on the situation here. We're all sleep deprived. What's new? I got probably 3 hours of sleep, plus probably a total cumulative. We've been on the road for what, 2 hours? I think we got probably 20 minutes of actual sleep. Next to me, we have a main man, Seth. Seth's, we're gonna have to actually blur your face with this one because we promised the audience that they're not allowed to see you. Yeah, they can't see you.
All right.
Yeah, they're not allowed to know who you are. But Seth he's our main man, our guy. And over here, we have Mark. Mark's what you call a trooper. He does a little bit of everything.
Don't like to talk about these things.
Yes, of course you don't. And then over here we got Blaxel. Now, as you can see, we're on our way to San Francisco. You can't really see outside the window. It's kind of overexposed, but we're in traffic right now. We're going through that toll booth. Yep, got to pay the toll. And then right here, we have Luke Fraser.
The lizard people in his natural habitat.
Luke Fraser in his natural state. Slumber.
We're so close. Come on, semi.
So close. We're literally only probably, we're about a mile away from our destination, if that even. And it's taking us half an hour to get there. Because apparently everyone has jobs. Didn't know that. Everyone's trying to get to their job. So we'll tune back in with you bums shortly.
Great.